Top 10 most expensive paintings in the world. Hey everyone, welcome to our channel. Hope you enjoyed our last video. If you missed it, kindly check through our page to be updated. Today, we will be discussing with you the top 10 most expensive paintings in the world. Don't forget to like, follow and subscribe to this channel, and remember to hit the bell icon so that you can have access to our unlimited videos and also be notified when we release a new video. Thanks. Here are the most expensive paintings in the world. Number 1 and 2 are so amazing, so kindly stay tuned till the end of this video. Thanks. 10. Number 5, 1948, Jackson Pollock. $140 million. A drip picture, the number 5, 1948, went for $140 million when it was sold by David Geffen to David Martinez in the year 2006. Artwork done on an 8 by 5 feet fiberboard, this piece embodies the unique dripping technique used by Pollock, one of the greatest painters in the abstract expressionist style. It is a typical Pollock piece, not very accessible in a mainstream way, but seminal to the evolution of modern art. Pollock has been dubbed Jack the Dripper, in which after placing the canvas on the floor, he used to apply paint by having it drip from sticks, syringes and hard brushes. 9. Masterpiece, Roy Lichtenstein, $165 million. Roy Lichtenstein is among the pioneers of the pop art culture that deflated the macho mystique image of American art and produced something more realistic and relatable. His best-known work, the masterpiece, 1962, features some classic elements of pop art like Band-Aid dots and speech balloons set in a comic strip narrative. The painting was a part of Lichtenstein's first exhibition at the Fears Gallery, Los Angeles, featuring other works like The Drowning Girl and the portrait of Madame CEZANNE. Now, some critics have dismissed the masterpiece as just another glossed-up and glamorous piece. Others believe that the painting has some deeper meaning attached to it. And that is what we are going to look into here. The masterpiece depicts a man, possibly the artist, and a blonde woman looking at a canvas, the content which is not visible to the viewer. A speech bubble ensuing from her mouth shows that she is praising the masterpiece in question, even calling it something that would get all of New York excited. The artist man, Brad, features in several other works of Lichtenstein, who believes the name is cliched and heroic enough to be the perfect protagonist of pop art. Masterpiece is regarded as a tongue-in-cheek joke that reflects Lichtenstein's artistic career. 8. COUCHE, AMEDEO Modigliani, $170,400,000. COUCHE, aka the Red Nude or the Reclining Nude, is a 1917 oil-on-canvas painting by the Italian painter Amedeo Modigliani. Often considered to be the painter's magnum opus, the COUCHE is a seamless fusion of classical idealism and modern-day sensuality. The picture of the naked woman lying on the couch looks erotically realistic, yet has a surreal, almost sublime beauty that catches the viewer off guard. There is nothing crass or vulgar about this column of tenderness, the woman as described by Modigliani. Instead, she comes across like a sensual, aroused woman in her prime who is not afraid to give and demand physical pleasure. The painting, though inspired by the Italian Renaissance depictions of Venus and other female figures, has a modern twist to it. Unlike the depictions of classical artworks, where the nudity is not used as a metaphor or an allegory to establish the purity of the woman, COUCHE highlights the nakedness of the female. Her entire body is featured up close from above and spans the entire canvas. Only her hands and feet are not in the frame. The expanse of creamy skin glowing under the soft light is in stark contrast with the crimson couch that further adds to the lady's allure. 7. Les Femmes d'Alger, version O, Picasso, $179,400,000. In the year 2015, the master's Les Femmes d'Alger version O sold for $179.4 million to set a then world record for the most expensive painting ever sold at an auction. This painting is the culmination of a series of 15 works on women of Algiers, completed by Picasso, inspired by the 19th century Spanish great Eugène Delacroix. This work perfectly exhibits Picasso's tendency to produce work that is of a vintage style, yet remaining completely fresh in approach and presentation. Equal parts kitsch, postmodern and classic, this piece is considered to be the most important Picasso in the hands of a private owner today. This brilliant canvas boasts vibrant colors and had been created by Picasso in 1955 as the final work in a series of 15 variations. This series was also conceived as an elegy to Picasso's friend and rival Matisse, who had passed away in 1954. With its play off cubism and bringing together all of Picasso's lifelong passions, this is truly a milestone in Picasso's repertoire. It has been featured in Picasso's retrospectives the world over. 6. Number 6. Violet, Green and Red. Mark Rothko, $186 million. Mark Rothko was a Russian-born American painter and a pioneer of abstract expressionism. Rothko's style is characterized by the use of large canvases and horizontal bands of bright colors. Violet, Green, Red is ambiguously named to allow viewers to form their impressions. Here Rothko uses a Spartan palette with the darkest shades at the top, symbolizing the depression that plagued him. The use of vivid colors in a simple pattern exemplifies Rothko's signature style of conveying an intimate message without the use of subjects. This piece was bought for $186 million by the Russian businessman Dmitry Rybolovlev from the Swiss art dealer Yves Bouvier in the year 2014. While the purchase has subsequently got embroiled in legal disputes, this piece remains one of the expensive pieces of art in the world. 5. Number 17A, 1948, Jackson Pollock, $200 million. Abstract Expressionism was a post-World War II art movement that emphasized the subconscious and spontaneous creation. Jackson Pollock's artwork belonged to this school of painting. His dripping paint technique has its roots in the work of André Masson and Max Ernst and others. This piece of abstract work was created sometime in 1948 and was featured in the 1947 Life magazine article that made the painting a household name. Done on fiberboard canvas using just oil paints, number 17A looks like a messy mirage of patterns and colors. However, a closer look highlights several layers to the painting that were lost on the viewer at a glance. The name number 17A is pretty formal and lacks creativity or uniqueness. Pollock intentionally deviates from naming his artwork as something fancy. This only shines light on the radically unique nature of the painting. The random patterns don't appear so vague once you observe them up close. Pollock's precise movement and artistic control can be tracked in the way the oil-dripping painting is structured. The title of the painting, number 17A, is in stark contrast with its content. While the name is bland, the patterns depicted in the painting are anything but ordinary. 4. NAFEA fa Ipo Ipo, When Will You Marry? Paul Gauguin, $210 million. Paul Gauguin's 1892 painting is currently the most expensive in the world. His painting of the two Tahitian girls smashed the world record in February 2015 when it was bought by the Qatar Museums from private Swiss collector Rudolf Stackelin for an astounding $300 million. It depicts two women against a natural landscape, one in a native dress and another in a colonial-style missionary dress, symbolizing the fusion of Polynesian and European cultures. This painting was completed by Gauguin at around 43, when he had gone to Tahiti to escape all that was conventional and artificial in Europe. This painting had been on loan with the Basel Art Museum for over 60 years before being withdrawn from display by the seller and sold. Seemingly unimpressive, this artwork illustrates the authenticity of a rooted culture in a bygone era. 3. The Card Players, Paul Cézanne, $250 million. This painting held the record for the most expensive one in the world before the sale of When Will You Marry in 2015. The Card Players had been bought by the Qatari royal family from the Greek shipping magnate George Embritsios for a whopping $274 million in the year 2011. This painting is one of those classic images that you surely would not fail to recognize. It is an image that has been seen in coffee table books, luxury good magazines and art history curricula for many years now. It makes up one of 5 pieces painted by Cézanne as part of his post-impressionist series completed between the early and the mid-1890s. This iconic image features 2 stony-faced men sitting at a small wooden table playing cards. The painting style and the use of pastels are classic Cézanne with subtle expressions on the faces beautifully conveying 2 players completely immersed in the game. A bottle of wine placed on the table adds to the impressive yet subtle detailing. It may interest you to know that the 2 models used for the painting were Cézanne's gardener and farmhand at his family estate. 2. Interchange. Willem de Kooning, $300 million. Interchange or Interchanged is an oil canvas painting by the Dutch-American painter Willem de Kooning, who belonged to the school of abstract expressionism. The painting was the first of Kooning's abstract landscapes that were completed in 1955 and were influenced by Franz Klein's artistic style. Kooning spends the better part of his career studying and reworking the abstract female figures. It was only later that he deviated from painting human forms and ventured into replicating abstract images of his surroundings in downtown New York. The interchange was created at a time when both the private sphere of the artist and the art community at large were undergoing a gradual but massive change. De Kooning was financially stable and had the opportunity to make new choices, both professionally and personally. He thus moves away from his spontaneous wild paintings to more stable, sober and tamed landscape pieces. Like any abstract work of art, even Interchange appears to be vague and nonsensical at a glance. 1. Salvator Mundi, attributed to Leonardo da Vinci, $450,300,000. Salvatore Mundi, or Savior of the World, was supposedly painted by Leonardo da Vinci. Many critics believe otherwise. The painting presents Jesus Christ dressed in a Renaissance garbs and bestowing benediction, his right hand raised with 2 fingers crossed while holding a crystal ball in his left hand. The glass globe in his hand symbolizes crystalline spheres of the heavens. Christ is shown to be the savior of the world and the master of the cosmos. Leonardo was a Roman Catholic but still deviates from the traditional images of the brass golden globes with a crucifix to the crystal sphere. Some claim that it was a conscious attempt on his part to tie the physical and spiritual worlds together. Art enthusiasts claim that there are 20 different variants of the artwork. The original painting is lost. One such copy was recently restored and rediscovered to be the original work of Da Vinci by many leading scholars. The argument that they present is that the golden hair ringlets, the knotwork crossing store, and the 2 fingers raised to bless mankind are all classic Da Vinci and not found in the other copies of Salvator Mundi. Salvator Mundi has a rags to riches story that's quite fascinating. We have come to the end of today's video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, we are sure you would like to watch more related videos from our channel. So stay tuned for more of our videos and don't forget to follow, like, subscribe and hit the bell button to be notified when we release a new video about more interesting and amazing updates. Check out this playlist of our top 10 videos.